Friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
Welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to. On today's episode, we've got new tag team champions. Throw your palms up for the Motor City Machine Guns, Larson, and point at the little area, the crack between the thumb and the forefinger.
That's
right
like
here.
The state of Michigan.
Yeah.
The lower peninsula, not the upper one. That's up here somewhere.
This is Detroit right here. So yeah, the Motor City Machine Guns. The Motor City Machine Guns are your new WWE Tag Champions. Crazy situation. I love this kind of booking here.
Hold on a second.
Whoa.
That's exciting news unto itself. Congratulations, Motor City Machine Guns. I think they won the titles in their third match on the company.
Yeah.
Obviously, Triple H is a fan. How can he not be?
Yeah.
What's the term? Bearing the lead?
Jimmy and Jey reuniting.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Yeah.
That's it's great. This is no disrespect to Motor City Machine Guns. Bloodline saga.
Be honest.
It's not.
Sounds
not.
like it.
What's going to be on the thumbnail at the end of the day, Steve?
The Motor City Machine Guns holding the
no,
tag
that's
title.
now, but after the West Coast feed, what's gonna be the thumbnail?
No, I'm sorry. Now is Cody and Gunther still. I'm waiting for the tag title change for later.
You're not gonna have Jey and Jimmy embracing in the middle of the ring as the thumbnail?
It's a really good looking thumbnail though. Look at this thing.
That's good, but imagine find a good still of them hugging. That's numbers. That's numbers. Because the Bloodline saga is the A story in WWE. So no disrespect to Motor City Machine Guns. They're great. Had two matches tonight. First beat DIY as a frantic final half hour of SmackDown.
It was, yeah. It was SmackDown. SmackDown was actually pretty damn good today. It's just up until the number one contender match, it was like, well, we got to think about this from a business perspective, but it translates also to like an enthusiasm standpoint. What are we going to talk about? What are people going to be talking about? And if all we got is new tag contenders, it's like, okay, well, whatever. Or Solo comes out and he talks a little bit, whatever. But that last half hour was action-packed, wall-to-wall, just like NXT. We had the Motor City Machine Guns, DIY, putting on a killer match, also advancing DIY's story. Possible split there, 8 months down the line. And then the Bloodline confront the Motor City Machine Guns. Solo makes a really awkward Impact joke. And
he's really proud of himself, though, for that.
He was I love this new Solo. We're going to talk about him also.
And he's getting heat.
He's getting, Larson, this is what we need. We need heat. And so they're like, hey, you guys want this match right now? Y'all winded because you're old, like me and Larson out there after like an hour of basketball.
Yeah, my back hurts.
Oh, I'm sorry. You put some ice on it?
Well, no, I just took a shower and I'll take some Advil before I go to bed.
It's icy hot.
I don't have that.
Ice to numb the pain, hot to make it better. And then they're like, hey, you want to do this right here, right now? Because y'all are old and spent. And they were like, yeah, let's do it. And they did it. And thanks to the help of Jimmy Uso, the OTC, my tribal chief, Roman Reigns.
Up for your tribal chief, Steve.
And Yeet. Jey Uso coming down to help out as well. So a little bit of a redemption, retribution, whatever you want to call it. Justice for Jey from what happened on Raw. He takes out he lays into to Tama Tonga with the chair. And boom, Motor City Machine Guns, now your WWE Tag Champions. Awesome finish, very Attitude Era-esque booking there from Triple H. We also, Larson, we got to see Lee Fitting in Gorilla today. We got everything.
It was, especially that last half hour, action-packed episode. It feels like this was like 3 weeks of TV they decided to do in the last half hour of SmackDown. I'm not complaining about it because sometimes you got to get that ball rolling on some of these stories. Like, how long have we been waiting for Austin Theory and Grayson Waller to break up?
Oh, my God.
Basically, since they won the tag titles at WrestleMania,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
6 months ago.
Been a long time.
Hasn't happened. No sign of it happening anytime soon.
Yep.
So there's so much equity built into the Bloodline story, and they took so much time setting everything up, during the initial 4 years that you can kind of speed some of this stuff along. And when you see Jimmy and Jey hugging the ring, it hits you.
It does. Yeah.
The magnitude of that moment in terms of the story they're telling hits you. Yeah. I got a little bit misty. I'm going to be honest with you.
I love that. That's great. It's earned.
It is. That's the thing. It's earned. We don't need It's not a situation where we need 3-4 weeks of Jimmy going to Jey and be like, all right, now don't need that.
Can you do? Yeah, no, I agree with that. I totally agree with that. There's been enough build. It's time for action now. Can you
Action
do
now.
your best? You see Jimmy and Jey in the ring embracing, having a good time. Yeet.
Yeet.
Can you do your best impression of the OTC Roman Reigns up there on the stage watching this love fest between his cousins? That's I'll be honest with you. Maybe take some more Meisner classes. You look like you're looking for your car in the parking lot.
Well, I mean, that's what kind of Roman did. He was looking. But he's got to eat now.
Oh, he's gonna eat. He's gonna eat on Monday.
I mean, they'll take their time for that. They got about a month till War Games. He ain't eating until at the earliest the go home SmackDown before War Games.
The earliest? That's got to be the latest because
he could eat after they win at War Games.
With Jey not on the team?
No, Jey would be on the team, but Roman's still like, all right.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Jey gets on the team because of his brother.
Sort of like when the Bloodline was in the War Games match when Sammy was on there, and it was Sammy helping them win that got Jey on board with Sammy. Remember?
Yeah.
So now it's Jey leading the charge to win the match for good Bloodline. All right, Roman's like, all right, yeet.
I just want to see Sammy get involved. I'm looking. There's a lot there. All the dynamics. I want some more backstage Bloodline segment. Can we find now that Solo's opened up and he's like, a fun character again? It's so shades of NXT Solo, and I love that they're allowing him to do it this way. I want some backstage bad Bloodline segments in whatever.
Oh, he's got to be lecturing everybody.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But then, I don't know what Jacob's reaction to that's going to be. Is Tongaloa going to be paying attention? Is he going to be TikToking? I don't know.
Is Tongaloa on TikTok?
Everybody is, man. It's like a worldwide phenomenon. Well, yeah, but you're kind of like a crusty old man. It's not your gig. I'm surprised you're still on Instagram.
That's like the one place I can go and I know pretty much what I'm going to get.
I know what I'm going to get in my Explorer page. It's a bunch of death videos.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Yeah, the algorithm. I'll send you some, and then the algorithm.
Shoes, it's guitar pedals, and workout stuff. That's all that's on my Instagram.
It cracks me up because our Going in Raw YouTube account, it's all guitar pedal stuff. I'm like, all right, I got to go to, one of my YouTube burner accounts.
Yeah.
The Wrestle Juice.
Yeah. I stopped doing that though. I only watch YouTube videos on my phone now from a different account, so I'm not tailoring the algorithm to my taste.
Okay. Well, speaking of your taste, well, let's stick with how we do this now. Let's go all out. Where do you want to start? I got to get the notes
we're on the topic of Bloodline, so let's just carry on through that. So preceding Motor City Machine Guns beating Bloodline for the tag titles, they had a match against DIY. We mentioned that earlier. Spectacular tag team bout. And you alluded to a story beat that might propel Ciampa and Gargano to start feuding, and that relates to the finish of the match. So, Sabin and Gargano are in the ring. This kicked off the last half hour of the show, basically.
Yeah, it did.
So, Sabin and Gargano, they're trading roll-ups. And then Sabin ends up by the rope, so Ciampa holds him up. So Gargano goes to super kick Sabin, but Sabin moves, and so Ciampa just eats that super kick.
Mm-hmm.
Tumbles to the floor.
He's out.
Eventually leaves the Motor City Machine Guns. Hit the skull and bones on Gargano to get the win. And afterwards, Gargano was leading against the apron. And Ciampa was giving him the business. And I'm kind of surprised. There was a moment early on in the match because the whole time commentary was talking about how Gargano was trained in part by Alex Shelley. They were close.
Yeah,
Shelley taught him how to do the Gargano escape. Mm-hmm. There's a moment earlier in the match where Ciampa was taking the boots to Shelley on the floor. Mm-hmm. And Gargano kind of slowly walks up to him. And I thought, oh, is he going to tell him to stop?
Yeah, he kind of was putting that off, huh?
But he didn't. I mean, they did the thing together on the guardrail, so it wasn't like he was too put off by Ciampa stomping a mud hole in Alex Shelley. But I thought that might have been a little bit of an interesting story, but not necessarily happened. But I mean, it seems like based on Ciampa's response, I mean, how many times have we seen a tag match when one tag partner inadvertently hits or kicks the other, and they kind of just brush it off? I mean, there was an intentional story beat happening there, you got to think it's going to lead to, again, 8 months from now, probably.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a while, although I do appreciate that, I would assume, although the way Triple H books, I don't know, this could be a situation where, one thing that he did sort of, I guess, take in a somewhat different manner from, under Vince's learning tree was the power of a moment. And how that moment doesn't necessarily need to lead to a, Kofi Mania, for example. In my opinion, this is for Steve here. It's not diminished. That moment's not diminished because of the Brock thing that happened. Because his title reign, and you can even look at prior to the Brock thing, Kofi's title reign was really nothing to be too, it was not that great. It wasn't really like, oh, he's the guy. Yeah. It was, hey, you've done a really great job for the company for a long time, and a lot of people want to see this, so you're going to run with it until we do like the shocking Brock thing. It doesn't diminish the moment of Kofi Mania. No. For me, it doesn't. Maybe for others it does, but for me, it doesn't. I think that moment is unique and it's singular. It's great. We talked about on Count Out today, which everybody needs to go and watch Count Out twice.
Go watch Count Out. It's a really fun episode. I did a lot of work research and stuff. Steve did too. Go watch it, please.
A lot of fun. Yeah. It's like shortest.
It's fun. Yeah.
Shortest WWE title reigns. It's great. We talk about Becky Lynch winning both those titles at WrestleMania. And she lost one of them the next pay-per-view of Money in the Bank, right? So Becky 2 belts wasn't really a thing for more than a month. Sometimes the moment does matter. Jey Uso winning the Intercontinental Championship and crying in the crowd, it mattered. It was cool. It was awesome. Doesn't matter that 28 days later he drops it to Braun Breaker. People might be upset about that for a second, but it motivated a story with Jey Uso and it kept him going. That's my long way of saying, I don't know how long the Motor City Machine Guns are going to have these titles. I don't. Yeah. But this is a really cool moment for them.
Yeah.
And fucking A, I just took the scenic route and I got lost. I have no idea what my actual point was.
We're old. We're getting up there in years.
Ciampa and Gargano. It was Ciampa and Gargano.
Yeah.
They had the tag titles. They did their thing without much of a story along the way. And we know what kind of story these guys can have. And so to move them along from the tag division into their own story of breaking up, I don't think is a terrible idea. Now, if they're going to do that, let's get some definitive story beats.
Yeah.
Like sooner than later. And tell a compelling story with these guys.
Yeah. No, that's the hope. We saw what Triple H managed to do with Gargano and Ciampa and NXT, and it was one of the best stories that WWE's ever told up to that point. So, I wouldn't necessarily suggest following that script beat for beat, but, give us the continuation of it. Acknowledge that they had beef in the past, a heated rivalry, made amends only for, whatever issues there were that initially led to the first beef. Re-arise. Is that even a word? Arise again. And they beef
Reemerge.
Again. Reemerge. That's what I want.
There you go. You got it.
So, yeah. I mean, there's plenty of good story fodder for Ciampa and Gargano. And can you imagine a good 5-minute video package highlighting everything in NXT up to this point?
Yeah,
absolutely. As a primer for people who might not have watched NXT at that time.
It'll be like, and then you can go watch it on, well, I don't know if you can actually watch it. You can watch the takeovers. Didn't you say that? I looked for the NXT episodes on the CW app. I didn't see it.
Oh, I just heard that was the case, but
maybe it's gonna go there.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I didn't see, at least I didn't see it. Maybe you have to sign in with some freaking membership or some shit. I don't know.
Maybe. In
any event, so after the match, because we didn't talk about actually the beat for beat after the match, right? We just started talking.
No. So Motor City Machine Gun, they're celebrating, they're winning the ring. Bloodline music hits. They make their entrance, go to commercial, come back, and it's like mid-conversation. We come back. So they're still in the ring. I'll just tell Solo, hey, it's not going to go down like this tonight. Solo says, all good. Just want to come out here and introduce ourselves, number one contenders before I get started. Brooklyn, New York, acknowledge me. Put your ones up for your tribal chief, Steve. He says, Motor City, welcome to SmackDown. Meet the Bloodline. I am your tribal chief. So Saban says, an honor to meet you, Mr. Tribal Chief.
Saban was good here.
Yeah, he was. Since we're doing introductions, I'm Chris Sabin. This is Alex Shelley, Motor City Machine Guns, number one contender for the tag titles. We're always ready, so when you're ready to hand those titles over any place, anytime. Solo says, since you came to SmackDown and want to make an impact for yourself, how about a tag title match right here, right now? And all this is like, nope. I've known you, Motor City Machine Guns, for too long. Given everything to this business for 20 years, I'll be damned if you get your title shot at anything less 100%. Then Alex Shelley interrupts him and says, those titles there are the most important titles on the planet to us. So if the Bloodline wants to do it right here, right now, let's do it. And all this is like, this is what you want. This is what you want. Turns to the crowd. This is what you want. They all cheer. He makes the match.
Yep.
So bell rings. Match begins. At one point, they're all laid out. Jimmy comes out and super kicks Solo.
Mm-hmm. But
then Jacob and Solo team up to attack Jimmy. Roman's music hits. He comes out, makes his entrance.
I love, too, his music hits. That dude just makes people wait. Because you see Solo and Jacob, they're just standing there waiting. And Corey even says, is he going to come out?
Yeah.
And then he finally moseys out. He was chatting up with Lee Fitting.
Maybe. So he eventually makes his way out. Jacob runs up the ramp to go after him, but he eats a Superman punch. So it leads to Roman and Jimmy brawling with Jacob and Solo up the ramp and backstage. So back in the ring, we get a ref bump where Chris Sabin's looking for a back elbow on Tama Tonga in the corner, but Tama pulls the ref in front of him. Ref's out. Tonga Loa hits Sabin with a spine buster, brings some chairs in the ring. And then someone else with the hoodie on is there. Of course, it's Jey. We all know it's Jey.
I can appreciate Corey also. When Jey showed up, he said, look at the eyes. I know who that is.
Yeah. So he super kicks Tonga Loa, throws him over the announce table. He gets in the ring, super kicks Tama Tonga, hits with a chair, falls with a spear. He goes over the ref, says, hey, get up. And then Motor City Machine Guns hit Skull and Bones on Tama Tonga to get the win. And as we'll see maybe in the thumb later, this is a great bit where Motor City Machine Guns, they're standing on the stage. There's a bunch of pyro going off. It's a great moment for them. It's awesome.
It is. No, it's great.
It's fantastic. Then we cut to Jey pacing in the ring.
Yeah, that dude paces like nobody else.
I know. He was, in a lot of ways, his mannerisms were reverting back to Jey Uso circa 2022.
Oh, dude. When he's around Roman, when he's around the Bloodline, maybe even when he's just on SmackDown.
Yeah.
He'll do that. Head
down, shoulders kind of up. So he's pacing around, and Jimmy makes his entrance. Jey turns around, sees him. So Jimmy gets in the ring, and he's like really slowly approaching him, make sure everything was cool. And then they hug. And it's great. And he cut to Roman.
Okay. You know what? Cut to Roman. He's looking for his car in the parking lot. Lucky for you, I did, in fact, find a great still.
Look at that.
Jimmy and Jey.
20,000 views.
I like the modest ambitions here. It's actually realistic. I'll put it off sort of, on one side, and I'll get the Motor City Machine Guns on the other. I'll go ahead and
you're going to have Motor City Machine Guns out like this, and just over their shoulder, you're going to put in the Usos.
Like out of focus. Like it's just sort of a background situation.
Yeah.
And then, your angry head, and then the parking lot. I'll get on Mid-Journey, do an AI parking lot for Roman to look at. It'll be.
Sounds like a bit of a busy thumb, but let's go with it.
Bro, listen, man, look at, the great paintings of the Renaissance. Those are awfully busy as well. That's what I'm aiming for every time.
You could have mentioned like Hieronymus Bosch. His paintings were all sorts of crazy stuff going on in there.
How about the Sistine Chapel? How about that? A lot of going on there.
Well, it's a very large canvas. It's an entire chapel.
Thumbnail. If you got a big 80-inch TV, it's a pretty big canvas. All sorts of Easter eggs in that shit, Larson.
Yeah, it could be.
Oh, man. All right. Well, enough of this silliness. Let's go ahead and pay some bills before we continue on with our SmackDown recap. We're going to talk about Cody and Gunther. They got to bring some heat, brother.
No heat.
No heat.
Let's take a quick break here. Get a word from our sponsor, DraftKings Pick 6. Steve.
Yeah.
Got to be honest with you.
Well, that's good.
One of my favorite things about football season, post-game stats. I like looking at the post-game stats. I need to know who did what. Like, did this wide receiver score a couple touchdowns, or did this quarterback throw for more or less 350 yards? I need to know these things.
Look, man, I understand that. You're a big old nerd. And if you think you can pick who will do what before the kickoff, then play Pick 6 from DraftKings. It's an official daily fantasy partner of the NFL. Download DraftKings Pick 6 app. Select between 2 and 6 players and then choose if they'll have more or less of a stat. It's that simple. And for all first-time Pick 6 players, check this out. New customers play $5 on your first pick set, get $50 in Pick 6 credits.
So download the new DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code RAW. That's code RAW for new customers to play $5 on your first pick set. Get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Only on DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours.
Also yours, these disclosures.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18 and over. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. One per new customer. Non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits expire in 6 months. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
All right, man. Now we're going to get ourselves a word from our sponsor, Tecovas.
Confession time, Steve.
Uh-oh.
More honesty from me.
Oh, no.
So when I was a kid,
Okay.
I used to have a pair of Western boots. I'd wear all the time. Like
Wow.
the outsoles they were like all worn off.
Wow.
But here's the thing about me now, adult Larson. I don't know if I could pull off Western boots now.
Oh, come on, man. Don't sell yourself short. I could totally see you rocking some Western boots from Tecovas. You see, Tecovas crafts quality Western boots for everybody, from ranchers to cowboys to first-time boot buyers like yourself. Every one of Tecovas boots are handcrafted with over 200 steps for broken-in comfort, and the ratings for Tecovas are off the charts, man. For example, Esquire says, quote, "There's a reason we keep coming back to Tecovas. Reviewer after reviewer mentions that they fit great, they're super comfortable, and they're easy to put on. They're going to feel right out of the box. Plus, with Tecovas Best in the West guarantee, you get free returns and exchanges for 30 days.
Well, sounds like I owe it to my feet to pull on a pair of Tecovas. Right now, get 10% off at tecovas.com/raw when you sign up for email and texts. That's 10% off at tecovas.com/raw. tecovas.com/raw. See site for details. Tecovas. Point your toes west.
Before we continue on with our SmackDown review, we got ourselves returning. Is it returning or still here? Fear and Loathing. It says, welcome to Friendo Club. I thought Fear and Loathing was here for a while. He was like one of our champions. Maybe he was on the Patreon.
Yeah, maybe.
Champ Fear and Loathing. That's weird. Anyways,
Thanks, champ.
Thanks, champ. Appreciate it. Welcome back. Lou, maybe he rage quit us at some point. He watched that count out this morning. He was like, this is bullshit. Nobody should watch this. And then nobody did.
Maybe. At least he watched it.
At least he watched it. Lou with the super chat says, if you told me like 2 years ago all of what just happened, I would not have believed you. Holy shit, man. I love wrestling. We love you, Lou, and thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Lou.
Also, a super chat from Corey Mills says, Alicia's fine as a ring announcer, but I can't help but hear her always end her words with the sound. Champion Cody Rhodes, etc. That's her vocal flair, man. That's part of the personality involved.
Yeah.
Let's see here. And then we've got, what is this here? DJ Fluffy also is a new channel club member. Thank you very much. Speaking of channel club memberships, that's right. It's the Friendo Club setup. You click join right here at youtube.com/Stephen Larson. Get access to all of our old bonus episodes. You also got access to the Big Blue Predictions Challenge. You can win this awesome hat right here.
Oh, I want that hat.
Oh, I know you're fiending for the hat.
I want that hat.
It's a beautiful hat.
It's a good hat.
Speaking of hats, this Friendo one, this was Larson came up with this idea. He was like, hey, Steve, listen. There's this new band on the scene called Oasis.
Never heard of them before.
And they got this great logo. I'm going to send it to you via JPEG email.
Yeah.
And we should make hats, but it says Friendo, not Oasis.
Yeah.
And I was like, what a great idea.
Yeah. Brand new band. Never heard of it before.
Right, exactly. Got some terrific tracks.
I mean, and it's really impressive. There's a brand new band, and instantly they're selling out giant stadiums all across the world.
Crazy. And they're like our age. They're like a little bit older than us.
Yeah.
It's nuts. Anything can happen, people. So anyways, we got some new merch coming up. This is not available right now. I got to whip up the graphic thing for it. It's going to be available soon. We also got t-shirts with this on it. We got some other things. I'm working on that Sonic Youth Goo homage shirt
wait
also.
for that one.
That's gonna. I need something from you though.
What do you need?
So like, I don't know which member of. I'm assuming the two people on Goo are from Sonic Youth.
No, they're not.
Who are they?
It's just, I don't know, whoever the original artist drew on there.
The guy closest to the camera, if you will. I need you to position yourself for a photo.
Oh, a profile
and then,
kind of.
Yes, exactly. Like that.
Yeah.
And then send it to me.
I'm very familiar with that cover, yeah.
All right, cool, because I need reference. And then we're going to do that one, and we're going to have like a whole like band merch, like line of merch.
Good idea.
But we're not a band. Check that out. It's coming up at friendoshop.com. You can always get really great merch over there right now. Friendoshop.com. You can use code Friendo2024 to get 20% off. Also, do us a solid. Hit that thumbs up. Leave us a comment. The algorithm loves comments.
They do.
And go check out Countout from today.
Please go watch Countdown from today. Please.
It's doing horribly right now.
Put so much work into that.
Well, an afternoon.
I know. I watched all the finishes.
So did I.
Yeah.
Well, I remembered the Yokozuna.
Yeah, that's the only one I didn't watch. I think.
Yeah.
But I watched all the other ones.
All right, man. Well, you know what? Hogan
Let's talk
Yokozuna.
about this.
Listen to segue here real quick. Hogan Yokozuna, tons of heat. Cody Gunther, no heat. Larson.
Bereft of
Although
heat.
somebody in our chat here, who is? I'll shout this out really quick. Here we go. You know what? Sizzlin' Papaya 1014 says, I thought the Cody Gunther promo did a good job of getting heat for the match. Respectfully, I disagree, man. It's been like, 2 weeks now? These guys keep on having these promos with each other. Look, I don't know. I honestly don't know. The genesis of this match, that silly Crown Royal title, it's bragging rights. It's who's the top champion. What juice can you get out of that concept?
Well, if you contrast what they're doing here, which is Cody trying to say, "Oh, I have my reasons for winning the title. What's your reason, Gunther?" And Gunther's like, "I'm the best. The reason is myself. I wanted the title because I'm the best."
His thesis is you do what you do for everybody else, and it basically makes you, not your own man.
Yeah.
I do what I do for Gunther and Gunther alone.
Yes. That was the whole segment in a nutshell, in like 2 sentences, Steve. Distilled it down.
That's kind of my point,
It is. Well, you contrast this with what they're doing with Nia and Liv and Tiffany and now Candice and Indy and Rhea. Like, there's multiple things, multiple stories going on there.
Yeah.
Naomi, Bailey.
Yeah.
What is that, like 6 or 7?
Yeah, dude, you don't hear like Liv coming
involved
out there.
in what they're doing with that one match.
Yeah, you don't have like Liv and Nia just going out there dropping these boring ass promos. You've got like Rhea's still obsessed with Liv, and now Raquel, and then like Nia's with Liv, and Rhea accidentally hits Nia. It's a madhouse. It's awesome. It's getting so many different people involved that it adds a lot of dimension to it. And I understand that there's already built-in stories leading into that, which makes it a seamless transition into the chaos that we see. And with Cody and Gunther, I mean, I don't know when the decision was made to do this champion versus champion thing, but they could have, I don't know, laid some groundwork to make this a little bit more interesting.
They tried tonight. They talked about the last 2 Rumbles where Gunther and Cody faced off. Of course, the first Rumble that Cody won, it was him and Gunther, the final 2. Mm-hmm. They could have set it up where... See, I feel like with Cody coming out and it's like, oh, I have my reasons why... I'm getting his cadence down a little bit.
You are, yeah.
Why I want to win this, And Gunther's like, I want to win it because I do things for myself and I want to win this because I'm the best. If they just literally kept it a battle of champions and said, we've been in the ring twice together, and Gunther, he's got a bone to pick because Cody eliminated him from the Rumble, the first time. And, he wants to get his dub back on Cody. He's got that chip on his shoulder. I just feel like they're trying to make it more complicated than it needs to be with all this extraneous stuff that isn't hitting. Now, if they come up with something like an actual story to make this really personal, I'd be into it. But if he can't do that in an effective manner, just give me champion for the versus champion, who's top champion, because we know Kevin Owens is going to interfere.
How about this? No, this is what you got to. No, well, okay, so legitimately, they honestly could have wrapped. I know Kevin Owens has a Randy Orton thing, but I feel like given that Kevin Owens attacked Cody Rhodes, they could have done a better job wrapping the way they have with Nia and Liv and Rhea and all them. They could have done a better job wrapping the Orton Owens thing into this Cody Gunther thing.
They could do something like this. Hear me interject real quick, where it's evident that Kevin Owens is going to go after Cody at any chance he gets. And then Gunther's like, Kevin Owens, I don't want you to get involved in our match because I want to beat Cody to prove that I'm number one. I'm the best. And of course, Kevin Owens is going to interfere to cost Cody the match. Therefore, there's issues now. I know they're on different shows, but there's more interesting dynamics going on there.
Kevin Owens isn't on a show right now, so it would work perfect. I mean, that is actually a pretty decent idea. We'll talk about Kevin Owens and Randy Orton here in a second, but this Cody Gunther stuff, how about this? We talked about this, I think, a little bit on our Friendo Club video where we looked at some IWC tweets. We talked about Antiques Roadshow.
Yeah.
What did Triple H say when he debuted this hilariously gaudy title, 50,000 carats of diamonds, right? So, look, the only motivation you need is the money. It's like, look at this title. It's 50,000 carats of diamonds. I heard Paul Levesque say it himself. I heard Lee Fitting talking about how much money this title is worth. I'm going to take it to Antiques Roadshow, and we're going to get it appraised there. And so they do.
Cody's like, Gunther, this title was smelt 5 days ago.
So Cody's like, Gunther, you do it much better than I do immediately. We're going to take this title together because I don't trust you with it alone. Fine. Let's take a road trip to Antiques Roadshow. And so they go together. They got the dudes with the giant title case, and then they open it up and they get one of them dudes on Antiques Roadshow to be like, this thing is worth like $5,000. These are
not an antique.
They get because I've seen on like Instagram, I think, or YouTube, there's a dude who goes around with like a little Lacey would know what this is, but it tells you if your diamonds are real or fake.
Yeah.
And so they go up to it and they start like doing the thing, and it's like
it's like something that measures the hardness, probably, you know.
Probably, I don't know.
Like
works.
these, like A, not an antique, B, clearly cubic zirconia, not diamonds.
Yeah, right, exactly. It's like 80% that bullshit. So like, this thing's worth, the craftsmanship's worth like 5 G's, nothing more than that. It's really not worth a damn. And by the way, according to my sources, nobody's going to see this thing after next weekend.
So you better take my offer, my first and final offer, $500.
I don't think they don't buy shit at Antiques Roadshow. They just tell you how much it's worth, and they're like, "What are you gonna do with it now?" And inevitably, they're usually like, we're just gonna put it in my closet.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna do shit with it
unless it's worth an astronomical amount of money. It just sits in someone's closet. Probably, if it's worth a lot of money, it probably goes to the auction.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, because most of this shit has sentimental value. It's not like fucking Pawn Stars where there's just a bunch of scumbags looking to get a couple extra bucks to go spend at the casino. They get short shrifted every single time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, some people are like, "Hey, I was fine." Gunther makes me laugh whenever he calls Cody dramatic.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. He's like, "You didn't have to bring your daughter into this." He brings up Dusty for a second, but he's just insistent on like, "What's your real reason? Why? Why do you want to win this match? Why?" And like, it's stupid because it's like, I don't know, because who wants to be a loser? You know what I mean?
I'm a competitor. I want to win. I have a competition in me.
And he does say, Cody says, you look like $1 million, man, but that's the stupidest question I ever heard. He says, you want to strip away the veneer, but you're not the only one. He says, you say take everybody out of it, but none of this exists without them. Earlier, Gunther had stunted the whoa. He took the whoa away from people. So Cody panders and does the whoa thing. He said, and yeah, I'm dramatic. Have you seen my brother? Absolutely. We're proud to be dramatic. And Gunther is like, you do the charity stuff. You do the press stuff. He's like, luckily a secondary champion. They never bother me to do this. But if they did, I would say no, because this isn't for that. It's for me. And I did like that this line, he says, the reason you don't put yourself first, when you stop being the servant for everyone else, your story is over. And that makes you a gutless chimp. And a gutless chimp will always be secondary to me, which I think was a really good line.
Yeah.
And then Cody brings some weak sauce to it. He says, you're a ring general because you've been terrorizing the planet before you were called Gunther, but you lead no one. You want to mention guts. My career is built on guts. You know what guts are, ending a civil discussion and taking the first shot, which I actually appreciated. Instead of, doormat Cody, he actually took a swing at Gunther, and then Kaiser came in, helped Gunther turn the tables, gives him a big old clothesline. Randy Orton runs to the ring to make the save, picks up his precious, stares at it, and then hands it over to Cody.
Yeah. Yep. Speaking of Randall Keith Orton.
Hold on 1 second, though. One second. Goat Brook here in the YouTube chat says, I'm all right with it, just waiting for the match. This thing's going to make all this forgettable. That match is going to fucking be great.
Yeah, the match would be great. I mean,
Cody
the mini
versus
match at
Gunther.
the end of the Rumble a couple years back was really good. So
that's going to be it's going to be a fucking banger match, but we got to talk about
who's number one, who's best wrestler.
Cody,
Sometimes,
you are number 2,
sometimes.
floating around my toilet bowl.
There you go.
I looked down on it, realized the ring general needs some grape nuts, no fiber.
Anyway, speaking of Randall Keith Orton, he's walking backstage. He's opening the show, and he walks through gorilla position. He stops and goes and talks to Triple H. Triple H is like, he's like pointing out towards the stage, and shakes his head and is like, "Hey, go out there."
Oh man, I can't believe you forgot to mention Lee Fitting was there.
And Lee Fitting was there. Steve wants everybody to know that Lee Fitting was there.
He wanted no part of that. He didn't want that smoke.
No, he's the Viper.
Yeah, man. We're gonna get Lee Fitting versus the Viper Randy Orton at WrestleMania.
Yeah, WrestleMania 41.
Maybe.
Falls count anywhere.
Lee Fitting retires John Cena.
Oh wow, shocking moment. Most unexpected WrestleMania moments. Number 1.
WrestleVote says Lee Fitting versus John Cena at
There you go.
WrestleMania.
So then Randy comes out, gets a mic, says, "So I've been doing everything I can to get my hands on Kevin Owens at Crown Jewel, but for some reason KO is off limits. I asked Aldis last week for the match. Aldis says that is above my pay grade. So Triple H, you're top dude.
You're the man.
In terms of calling the shots, come on down. If I didn't know better, I think you're protecting Kevin Owens for me." So Triple H,
Time to play the game.
Yeah, and so Triple H's like, "I don't want to do this out here. But since you never seem to show up to work on time," we'll talk about that later, "let's do it now." I
feel like that might have been an improv line too. You can always tell with Randy, he always like chuckles in a certain way.
Yeah. So this is pretty much, we go on for like at least 45 seconds of Orton saying, "You're trying to protect Kevin Owens, aren't you?" And Triple H says, "No." And they keep going back and forth and back and forth. And eventually Triple H says, "No, I'm trying to protect you from Kevin Owens." He says, "I've known Kevin Owens. I've known both of you since the day you walked into this company. Kevin Owens wouldn't be known as a prize fighter because he was always about business. He never had a friend the whole time he was here. For him, it was always about business, and you know what that's like. But for the first time, he let his guard down. He trusted you and Cody. I don't know if he sees the good person in Cody and wants to be that, or he sees the miserable prick in you and doesn't want to be that."
Sounded like another improv line.
Yeah. But whatever it is, he trusted you. In his mind, you guys turned on him. When I spoke to him afterwards, there was just something different. He's not the same Kevin Owens, and quite frankly, I don't want to put him in the ring with you. Take this with all due respect. You just came back after 18 months on the shelf. You had steel rods put in your back. I just got you back, and buddy, I don't want to see you put back on the shelf, maybe permanently. You understand?" And Orton says, "I need to stop all that. I didn't ask for Paul Levesque to come to this ring. I wanted the game. The guy who brought a sledgehammer everywhere he went. You came to my house and beat the hell out of me in my front yard. That's who I want, because what would you do if you were in my shoes? This isn't the old Randy being impulsive. I know what's at risk with my health, just like you know what it's like to have this all taken away from you. If you were in my shoes, you would do what we've always done. Handle our business the only way we know how, in the middle of the ring. Give me Owens at Crown Jewel. I beg of you, Hunter." So Triple H thinks about it, looks to the crowd, and they're all, "Yay, give him the match." And so Triple H says, "All right, I hope to God you all know what you're asking for. You want Kevin Owens' Crown Jewel? You got him. He says, Randy, protect yourself.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Now he is the hunted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is the prey, not the predator.
I hope they take a more this number one. I can foresee there's going to be some pull apart brawls.
Mm-hmm.
No promos. No promos. If Owens wants to keep on doing the Matt Chat questions, I think that's probably the way to approach it.
You know, what we could see is kind of a similar situation to what we saw with Seth and Bronson Reed on Raw this past week.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Pull apart, and then they're separated. They always find a way to get back at each other.
There's got to be something that illustrates Triple H's point that's a little bit different than what we've seen before, though. You know, like not just, he attacks him. Yeah. There's got to be, they got to do a gimmick thing, you know, like, I don't know, Kevin Owens runs him over with the car, some shit like that, you know?
Well, I was thinking of the golf cart. Remember the golf cart he drove?
Yeah, the golf cart. Yeah, he could bring that heat.
Yeah.
Because that'll get really good heat on that match, Larson.
Yeah. But the idea that, you know, Randy, the apex predator, is now the one being hunted.
Mm-hmm.
The way they're kind of positioning that. At least it's something.
He sets traps for him.
There we go.
Kevin Owens sets traps.
Reese's pie on the floor, and Randy Orton's like, "Why is there Reese's pie here?"
Nutella, because we know he likes Nutella.
Yes, Nutella. Yes,
Nutella.
Nutella pie. And he goes to pick it up. Annette goes over, and he cuts Kevin Owens. He's like, "Ha, gotcha, Viper. Who's the apex predator now?"
It's not even like a cage; it's a net.
No, it's a net. But you know, like here's the thing about nets: you try to get out of the net, you get more trapped in it.
If it's like a heavy one, especially.
Yeah, it's like the one the Ewoks used in
Return
of the Jedi.
Yeah. God, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then how about this though? The net, like you can close it up and he's got it attached to the golf cart. So he just goes driving around and Orton's in the net. Oh.
But then Orton's still trying to eat that Nutella pie because he really likes Nutella.
He's got his priorities straight. He's like, I might not live to see the rest of this Nutella pie.
He's holding it like this.
And he's scooping it with his hand. Yeah.
Nutella pie.
Yeah, and then like Lee Fitting and Triple H see him, after it's all said and done, he's got Nutella on his face. Like, it looks like you shit your face. What's going on with that? Told you to watch yourself. Like, yeah, I didn't realize he was going to bring Nutella. I got a whole
Nutella pie out of the situation.
Yeah.
I'll wash myself ballooned over 300 pounds is what I'm going to do, says Randy Orton.
Yeah, man. He loves that Nutella.
He does. That was funny you mentioned on that Cody show where he's like, I want to try to get over 300 pounds, so I started eating Nutella.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Yeah.
So we got some added dynamics to the Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, Candice LeRae situation. So there was a segment that occurred in the time frame of SmackDown before the show started earlier in the day. So Nia walks up to Tiffany, and Tiffany was out because I think they said she was under the weather last week.
Yeah, right.
And Tiffany's like, I wish I could have been there for you last week. If I could have, I would have. I'm here now, so what can I do to help? And Nia says, well, Naomi's been a problem. And Tiffany's like, all right, I'll face her. I'll wrestle her tonight. And Nia says, well, I already found somebody who's beat Bayley, something that you haven't done, Tiffany, Candice LeRae. So then Candice and Indy step in, and Candice says, I'm going to take care of the Naomi problem, so Tiffany, you can go relax.
Mm-hmm.
And that match happened. And Candice did not beat Naomi.
Nope.
Bayley came out and took out Indy after Indy pushed Naomi into the ring post, and then Candice takes a full Nelson bomb from Naomi, and Naomi gets the win. This
match was a ton of fun, man, because both Naomi and Candice LeRae are incredibly creative wrestlers. Mm-hmm. So, like, to see them go, they got a heavy emphasis. I was thinking about this. I think what is it called on Blue Sky when you send out a thing?
I'm not on there.
Well, I'm asking Chad, not you.
Oh.
I mean, I know you're the only one actually, listening to me, but I sent out a thing on Blue Sky. I was like, man, especially because like Naomi was wearing purple and Candice has purple hair. I was like, them as a tag team, holy shit,
pretty fun.
That would be so much fun. They're both incredibly creative, fun wrestlers to watch. Mm-hmm. That'd be a lot of fun. But yeah, no, it didn't happen. Indy sent Naomi into the post there. But yeah, no, I like how they're wrapping. Like the women's division is actually on SmackDown, as we see here in a second. They got some good stuff going on, especially with the tag division here. Of course, that's cross brand, but whatever. Yeah. We also had Andrade and Carmelo Hayes, their Game 7 match, which not shockingly, was actually I know you got a look on your face. This shit made me laugh so hard because like Nick Aldis, he's a very in kayfabe, very smart general manager.
Yeah.
This was a stupid move on his part.
It was incredibly stupid, and LA Knight pretty much said to him as such after the match. So what happens is, so before the match, we get this really cool video package highlighting the series of matches between Andrade and Melo. So during the match, we have all these instances where Knight interjects himself, or he's about to get hit with a move. At one point, Andrade almost hits him inadvertently with his back elbow. Shortly after that, Carmelo connects on a super kick, again, inadvertently, and so LA Knight spills out of the ring. So the Melo hits Andrade with the covers, but then LA Knight pulls him out of the ring and throws him onto the announce table. Knight gets back in the ring. Andrade's like, what the hell you doing?
Mm-hmm.
BFT for Andrade. Melo gets back in the ring. BFT for Melo. And then Knight goes over by the timekeeper area, rings the ring bell, and says, to hell with Game 7. With that pile of losers in the ring, there's only one man who's U.S. champ, the winner of Game 7, with everybody saying LA Knight. So later on, he's walking backstage, and Aldis walks up to him and is like, what the hell was that?
Mm-hmm.
You got to keep your hands to yourself next time, because now you got both of them, Andrade and Melo, for the U.S. title at Crown Jewel.
LA Knight was like, I told you last week there was a bad idea. Yeah.
I said, I want to do it.
Hey, he got a custom strap. Did you notice that?
Oh, no, I didn't.
On the U.S. title.
Did it match his vest?
Yeah, it's got, I think I was trying to like pay attention to it. I was trying to like see what it was. I think it's a bunch of little LA Knight symbols.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Yeah.
All right, that's good, like his old vest.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean,
did like. Sorry,
go ahead.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to say it might be like little stars because of the U.S. title, but I think it's little LA Knights.
Little LA Knights. I did like for the first half of the match when he was refereeing it, he still had the U.S. title on. Until it just came off.
He had like those beige pants on too. He was,
I know.
He was the dorkiest ref fit. Yeah.
I know.
That's why I love LA Knight. He's so like,
yeah.
I don't know. He's so boomerish. It's funny.
So you mentioned the women's tag titles. So we have a segment backstage where Piper and Chelsea, Lash and Jakara, and Damage Control are all backstage arguing. Camera pans over. There's Ava. There's Nick Aldis. There's Adam Pearce. And they say, hey, we talked it over. We got a plan of how to settle all this because there's, beef between all the teams. And they say there's be a 4-way match, a crown jewel. These 3 teams versus Jade and Bianca for the tag titles. Jade and Bianca are there too, and they're cool with it. So that match should be fun.
Yeah, man. I think this is awesome. Yeah, it's funny. Because like Saudi or the Saudi Arabian government, they're trying their damnedest to do the sports washing business. That's the whole point of the, to cover up their terrible human rights record. So like they have Triple H jam pack the show with like women matches. Like there's like 8 women in this one match, which I think is great. I think that's awesome. It's just funny that I don't think it's something Triple H would have done in the first place.
Yeah, I see.
I'd like to think he would. Because I think there's a lot of really good talent in this match.
Yeah.
God damn, yeah, this is a loaded fucking match if you think about it.
There's this match, and also there's a possibility in the Women's Crown Jewel Championship match. There could be, of course, Liv, Nia, Rhea, Tiffany, maybe Candice, Naomi, Bailey.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
All making an appearance, possibly.
Is this going to be another situation where one of these tag teams that isn't Jade and Bianca walk away with the titles for a moment, and then Jade and Bianca, it's copy paste the Unholy Union thing, or do you think that was the thing that they were going to do, and now they're going to have a bit of a run?
No, I feel like they're going to have a bit of a run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same.
That's what it kind of feels like.
Yeah. But boy, oh boy, this is going to be a match right here, man. This is going to be fun. Hopefully they give it plenty of time.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Would you like to answer? That was SmackDown, everybody. Would you like to answer some questions, Steve?
Oh, what a breezy. Look at that. There was no like one-off video packages for anybody? Like, hologram is coming or some shit like that? That's a different company.
Chadwick Hughes here. Let's start with this question because it's for you, Steve.
Awesome.
How many more grueling Cody Rhodes yapping sessions could #1 Cody fan Steve listen to before he is no longer #1 Cody fan.
Bro, I'm just going to say this. I'm glad this fucking pay-per-view's next weekend because I don't know how much more of this shit I could take. Man, it goes for pretty much anybody, even the great CM Punk. If you ain't got nothing to work with, then I don't care who you are. It's difficult. It's difficult to bring it on a regular basis if you're in an active feud when there's just nothing there.
Yep.
Gunther was good tonight. I like Gunther. I love Gunther. I think he's great.
Gunther's one of the best.
And I loved his promos make me laugh because he always says some funny shit. And I like the general thesis of what he had to say. But man, it's kind of a stretch, and what's the real reason you're doing that? Well, because he fucking wants to beat you, dude. Because, why else would you be doing it? Because, I don't know, Triple H booked the match.
Yeah, no.
So I don't know. There's just no there.
Yeah.
But no, I like Cody, man. I think he's great. John and Alistair voice says, John. Why is Hologram's mask S tier in generic Create a Luchador? And with the Tony Khan story, it makes it even more perfect. Does anybody know, like in chat or whatever, like what the genesis of the hologram character is? Have you heard?
I just know it's Tony Khan's creation, the idea of this character. That's all I know.
Like, I want to know how far back it goes. Was he sitting
all right,
there
let's create an origin story here. Here's what I got.
Go ahead, please.
So when I think of holograms, for whatever reason, the first thing I think of is, you heard of the sports card brand Upper Deck?
Yeah, of course.
So I think they were the first to do this. On the back of their cards, they'd have a little hologram on there, and they'd have hologram logo stickers for all the teams, all the baseball teams.
Okay.
So maybe one day, Tony Khan, he's opened up his baseball cards. He's like, Ken Griffey Jr. #1. This could be worth something someday. He puts it aside. He gets the sticker. He looks at the sticker. He's like, wow, this is really impressive technology.
Yeah.
He looks up. Maybe he has some wrestling on. Looks at the hologram sticker. Looks at wrestling, and he makes the connection there.
Keeps on looking back and forth. Yeah.
It's like, whoa, what if it was a character that could possess whatever amazing technology in this sticker, and it translates to the ring?
Yeah. And then he fires up his WCW NWO Revenge, and he's like, I got to make this guy. And he's like, but
we're really smashing the timeline together.
Wait, what year did you think yours was going down in?
Well, I mean, 1980, like the year that Ken Griffey Jr. #1 was it was the first year Upper Deck. That was 1989.
How old is he? 40?
Who, Tony
40?
Khan?
Yeah, 42, something like that.
Something like that, probably.
He's like, what, 5 years younger than us or something?
Okay,
something
all right,
like that.
all right.
Let's just say that, okay?
Maybe he bought a box of 1989 Upper Deck,
right,
and was opening the packs. But he bought it in 1999 or something like that.
Right, yeah. So like it was like in like 98, I think. 1998, I think, was Revenge. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So he fires it up. 1997. Maybe it was 97. Fires it up. And he's like, man, I gotta make this guy. And he's like going through, because in that game, you could just change somebody that already existed, their features.
You could change the color of their outfit.
So he takes Aki-Man, changes him to hologram, and he changes the color of his outfit.
There we go.
And he would go in it, and then his friend would be like, hey, Tony, what's up? And then Tony's a billionaire and his friend is a normal. And so, he's like, hey man, I'm going to be Hulk Hogan. Remember how super powered Hulk Hogan was in that game? I'm going to be Hulk Hogan. He's like, I'm going to be hologram. Well, one base hit gets the job done. Billionaire Tony gets mad.
Yeah.
He's like, you're going to be Bischoff next. So the dude had to be Bischoff. Tony Khan with Aki-Man hologram destroys him.
Yeah.
He said, put your controller down.
But then his friend got Dr. Frank.
Was Dr. Frank our creation, or was that in the game?
No, that was
we
in the
just
game.
changed it. That was in the game, right?
Yeah. I think the name was Dr. Frank. Yeah,
his friend got Dr. Frank and embarrassed.
It was a wrestler with a Frankenstein mask on.
And he fucking rage quit that shit. Get out of here. Sorry, Tony.
Yeah. Luis here has a similar question to Chadwick. Says, with Cody and Kyle Fletcher yapping along, who else yaps for far too long?
Jay White.
Yeah.
That dude.
Yeah, Jey takes the scenic route all the time.
He really does, man. He really does. Gorilla Mon says, in kayfabe, had Motor City Machine Guns not accepted the tag title challenge, what would Jey have showed up to SmackDown for? We're there in Brooklyn, man. There's all sorts of shit to do.
There's a Shake Shack right across the street from Barclays
Right.
Center.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Shake Shack.
There's a Target on the other side, too.
Well, there's Targets everywhere, man. It's not really like a...
I know. We've been to the Barclays Center. That's the two kind of like landmarks. I remember being right next to the arena there.
You know, I was going to get some of that New York pizza.
Yeah.
Yeet.
Lonnie Lighthouse asks, who do you think is the greatest sitcom character of all time? Lonnie says Al Bundy.
It's a great sitcom character.
Yeah.
The
George
greatest
Costanza.
Sitcom. Oh, that's a great answer. That's a great answer. You know what I was watching the other day? Pluto TV. They got a whole channel with they got a taxi channel, the Judd Hirsch show.
Oh, yeah. Andy Kaufman, yeah.
That fucking theme song is so damn good.
It's really good.
So slick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how this wasn't the first name out of our mouth. Greatest sitcom character ever. It's Baby Billy.
Baby Billy's Bible Bunkers. Dave Matushek says, since the Andrade Mello conclusion ended in a no contest, what other series would WWE do to not end that same way? Andrade and Mello, so they're just not going to have, because they're so like evenly powered up, they're just not going to do a game set.
Well, you know what's going to happen now? They're going to be unified in their dislike of LA Knight. They're going to form a tag team.
I don't want that.
I don't really want that either.
LA Knight just got that new strap. He ain't dropping that title anytime soon.
Nope.
Cosmic says, where are they reading these comments from? This is the Friendo Club setup. We're reading the comments. YouTube channel memberships get access to the question threads on the community wall. And then Patreon. I forgot to mention this earlier. Patreon.com/Stephen Larson. Click on the Friendo Club setup. Same price as the YouTube channel membership. You also get your questions read. Larson's doing the Patreon. I'm doing the channel memberships.
Correct.
This is great. Elemental Giant says, if you could domesticate any animal to keep as a pet, what would it be?
Oh, wow.
We got a cat, a dog, and a fish, and I'm happy with that, man. I'm
We
good
got
with
a
that.
dog, 2 fish, and at least 1 frog.
Yeah, okay. Oh, wow.
I don't know about the other frog.
Uh-oh. Did one frog eat the other one?
No, there's 2 frogs in the thing still. I'm not sure if one of them's still with us, though.
All right. Well, if God did his thing.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
I mean, like a monkey would be cute.
Dinosaur.
If I could super domesticate it. Dinosaurs a lot. That's a
Imagine
lot. It's
you
a good
could
security system,
domesticate-
though.
Imagine you could domesticate a pterodactyl, hop on it, fly wherever
you're
you
not
want to
gonna
go,
want to fly on that thing? That's horrifying.
create like a thing to put on it, so it'd be like, this is super comfortable. This is like first class accommodations.
That also seems like, kind of animal torture. Put a whole thing on a pterodactyl.
Well, I wouldn't do
Pterodon
anything to
or
make it
pterodactyl?
uncomfortable. Pterodactyl is the same thing. I wouldn't do anything to harm it. It's my
Okay,
beloved
well,
pterodactyl.
Yeah, like a monkey. Be like, hey, can you grab me a sandwich? And he goes and comes back and it's got like some of its shit in its hand. I'm like, I don't want that. Throws it at me. Like, I thought you were domesticated. And he starts ripping my face apart.
Mm-hmm.
It's the wrong monkey. Oh, man. Let's see here.
Nate Cruz here says favorite reunions in wrestling history.
Favorite reunions in wrestling history. Reunions. Man, I don't know.
I don't know. These on the spot questions we don't ever do well with.
Yeah. Like, I just try to think of one. It's not even my favorite.
Remember when Becky and Charlotte were friends again? That was cool.
Yeah, that was cool because it was like, the awkwardness of the title change.
Yeah.
That was cool. Favorite reunions. Yeah, I don't know, man.
That's the first thing that popped in my head. Mr. Sinister says, did you guys see Sports Illustrated 20 greatest WWE wrestlers of all time? There's only one woman in the top 20. I saw the top 10.
We should do a Friendo Club video about that.
Oh, we should have reacted to that. That's right.
Yeah. I gotta remember. Whenever we see something, we gotta react to it. I saw. Well, yeah, I know. I already saw most of it. I didn't know if you would have. So like I screenshot
really
it.
noticed who was number one.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Stone Cold
I'm
Rich
number
Holland.
one.
What's that?
Stone Cold Rich Holland.
Stone Cold Rich Holland's number one. Hulk Hogan's number 2. That dumb son of a bitch on Fuck Hulk Hogan Day.
All right, everybody. That's going to do it for this show today. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. Till next time, we'll see you around.
Goodbye.